for this one. David T, my guy David T versus Dez. Round 1, quarterfinal matchup, MCS playoff. We have David T coming in, number 10 tournament seed, playing up against the number 7 tournament seed. A lot of people picking Dez in this one. I predicted that David T was going to win this game. If you guys didn't catch the video, I predicted the entire MCS playoffs. And not doing too shabby on it so far. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and skip into this game somehow. There we go. And yeah, here we go. David T, probably going to be in Vikings defensive playbook. He is going to be rocking that 3-3-5 odd. And then he is in the Giants uniforms, I believe. David T, number 10 seed coming in. RG3 Master Tack and Conductor. And if you guys want to get my version of the Vikings defense, it's going to be in our school community. I don't know what David T is going to be on offense. I actually don't know what Dez is going to do either. I think Dez probably going to be in dollar. So we'll see. This Derwin James item seems to be kind of a staple for most of the competitors going into this event because of its kind of abilities. But yeah, if you guys didn't know, mid-zone KO, best ability in this game. Also, if you didn't know, Master Attack and Gunslinger, pretty much the god stack on your quarterback right now. And really just the best way to be going about it. So let's go ahead and get into this game. Super fired up. I'm a huge David T fan. Learned a lot from him over the years. And he's my guy. I love me some David T. So let's see what he is able to do in Madden Bowl. He's been super locked in this year. I know David T's going to have a good switch stick. And yeah, a lot of people picking Dez. So we're going to see how this goes. And David T is on offense first. Last I saw, he was in Eagles. And looks like he is going to be in this new formation. I think he is in Saints. I think David T is in Saints playbook, which we actually just dropped an ebook on in our school community, not even kidding. But he's in, I want to say he's in Saints. He's got some of these plays. He might be in running gun, but I'm pretty sure this is Saints. It's very similar to Eagles, except this formation, doubles flex Y off close. This formation right here is very similar to normal off close, just a little different alignment, little short corners, things of that nature. So we're going to be checking out some of these new routes that you're going to see. A little speed out, short go. And Dez is going to be able to get the sack. Love this doubles flex Y up close. Yeah, I'm almost positive this is Saints because he has stack Y flex, and then they did add that Y off trips, I believe. And then this is why I think it's Saints, because these motion plays and tight Y off that he's going to be audibling into. Really, really nice plays. Kind of some unique routes here. So love what David T is doing. There's that quick out on the left side. Bam! Brown off the outside gets a first down. Love to see it. David T, in my opinion, is one of the best offensive players in the game. I don't think he gets enough credit, but I do think he is one of the better offensive players. I think he just sees the game well. Dez in that patented double mug. Dez rebuilt the double mug defense. I talked about it in another video I did highlighting that. Dez has really been in double mug pretty much all year. Double mug's been patched, and Dez has found new ways to run it. And Dez really has been kind of the guy for double mug, honestly. Him and Abram, but I think even more so Dez. So he's in Vikings book. He's going to be going to multiple defenses, though. He's going to go to 1-4-6 here. Going to be running some crossfire. Love to see. Watch what David T is going to do. This little cover 2 beater on his left side. Dez checks off cover 2. Nice playmaker from David T. Really one of the things that I'm noticing on this first drive, David T is primarily a lot of playmaker, a lot of kind of, I don't know, just getting people open. That's what Master Attack's able to do. Master Attack is basically playmaker, conductor, and hot route master all rolled into one ability. So super good ability. David T going to his Y off trips, nasty dagger whip. We haven't seen him call this play. He made a final in the Unstoppable Challenge, running a lot of this Y off trips, nasty. Love this red zone combo that you got here. A little high-low read, hitting the fridge out of the backfield quick. Second down and 3. And yeah, he definitely insane. There you see the heavy Saint. And my guy Lights Out from Madden Daily. If you guys don't know Lights, absolute legend in the community. He has found some crazy glitchy stuff out of Heavy Saint. So if you want to learn how to run that, go check him out. I would never, ever dare talk about Heavy Saint. Because my guy Lights, that stuff, I don't ever want to be associated with that formation, to be honest. It's that glitchy. But Yeah, David T, good pocket, able to scramble out, gets 7. Kind of a busted play, turns it into 7. And now this is what I want to see. That what's gonna make the difference in this game is David T's defense versus Dez's offense. Dez plays offense kind of different than a lot of people. Dez was really, I think, one of the first people that really audibled around a lot. And he makes offense as simple on himself as it possibly can be. That's what I like about watching Dez play. I feel like he plays offense in a way it's normally going to audible around, quick reads, kind of trying to isolate certain defenders. So that's going to be Dez on offense more than likely. David T's weakness is his defense, but he is in this 3-3-5 odd, and he is shifting his line to the left here, and no pressure that time. So we're going to monitor this, because I heard that this 3-3-5 odd was crazy that he was running. Oh, look at this. Dez is in running gun. Dez is actually in running gun. Really interesting. Haven't seen that. So this is a shift left, 3-3-5 odd look. Dez going to send 5 out. Oh, we got looped. Dez just got looped through the A-gap. Now, if you remember last year's Madden Bowl, Dez showed up to the event, and he just got screamed at in his first-round matchup, ended up losing. I want to say to Kiv. I can't remember who off the top of my head. There's David T again. Not pressure that time. I'm trying to remember who Dez lost to last year, but I want to say it was Kiv. But if you watch the game of Battle Dez last year, he literally just got A-gapped every play. He just could not pick up the blitz. And it was really just a matter of he didn't have the pass pro. Meanwhile, Dez is dotting David T's life away. So we're going to see how this goes. Doubles flex off close for really both of these guys. A lot of short post, short corners. Good alignment from this. Good spacing. But then also a lot of things you can audible around to. Bunch X nasty, audible here. David T, send 3. Actually, send 4 there. Another good read from Dez. It's really just walking up in the field on him. So he did get the A-gap to come in one time. Haven't really seen it since then. This Y trips nasty. Kind of a really good red zone formation. David T put this on the map this year with this RPO. High-powered RPO. David gets his own play ran on him, and Dez goes and gets 6. And we're going to have a tie ball game, 7-7, first quarter. This RPO is just so good from Dez. Got Michael Vick at kick returner. There you go. All right, so let's see what happens second drive here, what Dez does defensively to try to get a stop. David T is going to go to Bunch X Nasty, I believe. Got a little short post route, kind of a short post or more dig route. That was basically his version of bench pivot. We know that bench pivot was one of the main plays that Clef used in the Zero Chill Challenge event that really kind of propelled him to have a really solid offense. Double mug. Really haven't seen this blitz come in, but David is blocking his running back a lot. There he takes a short read, but doesn't get his feet in bounds. Brings up a 3rd and 2. Dez is going to send 4 a lot. It's going to be a lot of send 4. Kind of manning people up. Oh, that was scary. That was scary. Dez looks a little different, not going to lie. Looks more mature, looks older, wiser. Little pivot route on the back end here. So a little smash return setup basically from David T. Able to hit that post. Nice read. Right over the user. Pat Tillman just too small. This flood post play, David is running this a lot. This is a setup I actually use really more so in college football because of the wide hashes, but that's a really good setup. You're able to really attack the entire field. One of David T's main concepts for his offense is he's trying to, a lot of these guys are for sure, but I think David T specifically kind of runs his offense in a way where he's really more of a full field read. He's not really doesn't oftentimes isolate certain sides. It's really, he's trying to make full field reads. So this little tight Y off is basically a cluster formation because the way that the game aligns it. It's technically tight Y off, but it's like a hidden formation in tight Y off that he's using. There he goes with the dig return, kind of slant on the backside, able to kind of just throw it right through the zones because zones are terrible in this game. And we're going to see another red zone possession for David T. He's going to go to that Y off trips nasty, back to that same dagger whip play pretty much, using that wheel route to kind of pull, for that little drag. I think that Henry was the first person that I saw do that, but if you haven't done that yet with the master attack, you could put wheel routes on slot receivers. And so when you have that wide trips nasty, that so the receiver is technically a slot, putting him on a wheel and then putting a drag right there, that wheel route really pulls the flat routes really, really, really well, and it really opens up a lot of space for the backside drag. So that was kind of what we saw him go to there. And now we're going to see a 1st and goal for David T. Another red zone type of situation. It's more of a goal line situation. See what he has cooked up here. Here we go. Heavy Saint. That's my guy Lights. Let's see if David T is going to run the QB power glitch. Boom. Just straight up dolphin dives. QB power. Touchdown. David T, my guy. 14-7. Everybody said he was going to get blown out. Here we are. Telling you, boys, David T has had a really good year. He's really good at this game. David T just gets better and better and better, man. We'll see what he can do defensively. See if he can get a stop. This shift left look looks intimidating. I don't know what it does. It looks like he's user in here, but I don't know. Yeah, he is user. Oh, okay. Okay, so here we go, boys. So this is the 3-3-5 odd version of those disengage blitzes. He is going to engage with this guard. Now he's got his user in his zone. He's probably slanted the line out or crashed the line to crashing the line. So this blitz angle is going this way. So this is essentially just another disengaged stunt blitz where he's going to hit the guard, and this guy is going to loop in through here and get pressure on this quarterback. Look at this. You get the nice 3-3-5 odd alignment with the safeties in the box, and then look at this pressure. Boom. That is amazing pressure. Haven't seen that all year. This is why David T super secretive about his schemes. He won't stream. I've been trying to tell him to stream for 3 months. He ain't streaming. He kept this formatable out here, a little disengage out of 3-3 odd. There he goes again. This time he sent 5 out of it. Having not seen this all year. First time I've seen this is right here. So that is a nice little disengaged blitz. I'm sure somebody else found it. Who knows? But we really have not seen that blitz. And then he gets the slot corner pressure off of it. Oh, he lurks him. Okay. Okay, so look at this. You got a little send 5. A little send 5 off of this, or send 4. So you can send the slot corner. The slot. We know that pressure's hot. And then here we go. This coverage-wise, we have quarter, flat. And then he just manned up this backside. So Dez is thinking, well, I can put this streak right over here. Watch what David T does here. He's going to switch stick. Why don't you switch? Switch stick to this guy, robs this streak, and takes the ball away. Big stop from David T. And he's out of there with Fuller. He's at the 20, 30, 10, 5, touchdown. David T, 21-7. Against what a lot of people would say is one of the favorites in this tournament. Dez comes in as one of the favorites in this tournament, in a tournament that does not feature Henry. Really, I think the top players coming in, you got to think Dez is up there. Wesley on the other side of the bracket, really good player. Those are two players who really heavily favored in this Madden Bowl, and David T's got one of the favorites on the absolute rope. 21-7. If he gets another stop, he's in a great position. Now, what's really the best thing for Dez? Here we go again. There's that loop. Not really getting great pressure on that when Dez blocks his running back. But the threat of the pressure does force certain pass pros from Dez. And again, this is something I don't think a lot of people have seen this blitz. This is not like, we really haven't seen this specific that I can think of. I don't know that I've seen anyone run this yet. Got him again. Another switch stick. Almost pick sixed him again. I'll tell you, dude, David T's switch stick is insane. His switch stick, it started in the beginning of the year, the Madden 25 kickoff tournament. He made the event. His switch stick is wild. Like, he's very, very good on the switch. Here we go. Dez will hitch. There's pressure. Watch this. Here we go. We're gonna watch the pressure. See here, there's the disengage. So how's Dez picking this up, you might ask? He's sliding his line. So you see how slide. So I'm assuming this is a slide to the left side. But we know in 3-5 odd, guess what? This guy is really the guy you got to worry about. So now we're going to send 5 with him. This is a full blitzing defense out of this 3 through 5 odd. And we've seen a lot of good 3 through 5 odds this year. I have not seen it ran like this until this event. David T goes to this pressure, and he is going to get it picked up. But look, the running back dumbs out. See how the running back dumbs out at the end? User is able to pull him. David T was trying to switch, I would assume, to this guy. He wasn't able to, so Dez is going to hit this streak, and he's going to get a nice possession catch for a first down. A lot of really, really high-level stuff on the defensive side of the ball for David T here. So, again, it looks like he's mainly usering on that left side. He's going to hit him. There's the disengage. He got it again. Pretty much when Dez sends 5 out, the disengage is coming free. Pretty much if Dez doesn't set a pass protection or he sends 5 out, David T can disengage him sending 3 to 4 people. Because I think this is only a send 3, which we have not seen a send 3. I mean, I guess we technically have a dollar, but not like this. He's also getting it from a press alignment, which is a D-line pick. David T. There it is. There's that set. So, again, what I say, Dez motions out the running back. He sends 5 out. He sends 5 out against this blitz. Watch, David T engages. Watch this loop right there. Bam. You get pressure. Dez, where's he throwing this ball? Where's he throwing this ball? I have no idea. Maybe to this guy for a touchdown. But the pressure. Boom. Sack. D-line pick. 4-6. 28-7 David T. Not even phased by it, my guy. David T just locked in. David T is a system player, boys. He's a system guy. He runs the system to perfection. David T. I'm super pumped for him. No, I don't think very many people thought he was going to win this game. And he's not just winning this game, he's dominating this game. Absolutely dominating this game. Dez, kind of a repeat of last year. Shows up to Madden Bowl, plays the blitz he can't block, gets beat. First round. Now we'll see if he's able to fight back. He does get ball at half. This is a really critical drive for him. He really does need 7 to kind of stay in this game. This is his stay alive drive pretty much. Little auto motion play. Nice little cheat motion, auto motion streak there. Almost got switched it again. You see David T's facial expression. First time we've really seen any of that. And again, this is beautiful. I'm you better believe I'm messing around with this. I have not seen this. I might have fell off on my lab work. I did not try. Oh my gosh, yum. Look at that. This is a play action play. Everybody says play action, play action, play action. Play action blocks a lot of the blitzes in the game. You know what play action doesn't block? It doesn't block disengaged blitzes, and it doesn't block a blitz like this. Take a look at what David T does here. He shifts left. He sends 5. He's got 1, 2, 3 people coming completely free at the quarterback. I don't care what the coverage is because he's getting screamed at. This is insane. This is insane. Dude, David T came to play with a blitz. We're going to have to get in the lab on this 3 through 5 odd, boys. Little motion out flat. There it is again. There's a 3-man. Every time he sends 5 out, David T is getting instant pressure with 3. That time, Dez got the ball out on time. But obviously, he hasn't some in this game. So, yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, there's just the blitz is so good. There it goes again, send 5. See this? Look at this send 5. Yell at Dez. 1, 2, 3. And the thing that's really impressive is this. So the thing that's really impressive is this. So if you're running this out of 6-1, you're running this out of dollar, there's a good chance you're getting seam streaked. David T is able to run this, and he's switching off. Look, he's engaging, and he's switching pretty quickly within the play to be able to get to stuff. This is amazing defense. It really is. In a game where there's not much defense, we're seeing defense at the highest level. And defense at the highest level is cover 4 with a send 3, a send 4, a send 5, pressure. There's send 5 again. Mid-zone KO. That's a KO. And again, I mean, Dez is not blocking anybody. Look at this. He's sending 5 out. I don't know why Dez is sending 5 out so much. I mean, maybe he tried to block. Maybe he just doesn't feel like he was blocking it good enough. But, I mean, sending 5 out against this defense, I don't know if that's the move. Has some time in pass pro. Look at that. The second Dez gets time, touchdown. Able to get David T over top. One quick thing on this. This was just a man-to-man. David T's kind of getting a little adjusty, right? Trying to take with his quick reads because he's getting a lot of heavy pressure. So he ends up going really kind of a cover zero. I don't feel like David... I don't love the coverage behind the blitz there. I feel like maybe that's just one of his core shells against that formation. Dez going to go for 2 here. Ooh. Kind of a crazy play. But he's going to get his 2-pointer. There you go. That's what Dez needed, really. He had to score on that drive to stay in this game. So 47 seconds. David T, 28-15. He's up 13. The challenge for David T is Dez gets ball at half. So it could very easily be 22 or 23-28, right? Depending on how this goes. So this drive for David T, like you would really like to see him get at least 3 here to make it a 16-point game before half would be really helpful to him. Dez going to be in that 1-4-6, probably going to be running that disengage blitz. He is running that. Oh, David T got a red. Uh-oh. So David T gets a under pressure. I don't know if he highballed it. He's clearly throwing to that X receiver. Would have been a tight throw, but he did have him up and over. Got it inaccurate. Dez gets a pick, and all of a sudden, now we have a ball game. And David T is known as the king of freeform, the blue master. Didn't look very good there. All right, show blitz look again. Slot corners to the left. It's the shift left that's causing that disengage. That shift left with that blitz, that D tackle kind of, I don't know if it's a crash out or what it is, but I know that D tackle is humming. That is a nice little find by David T there. Who's on the right side? Oh, that's the linebacker. Oh. Okay, so I don't think David T is baselining either with this defense. I don't think he's baselining. Almost positive he's not. So he's just show blitzing. Oh, he tried to use the RPO. He's right in position. Dez able to catch it. And Dez is putting up a fight right here. 16 seconds. I mean, look at this, guys. I mean, Dez scores here. It's 31-15. Or 22-28. Dez has a chance to take the lead out of half. That's how significant of a turnover that was for David T. Like, everything I said about David T, and all of a sudden, here's Dez. Isn't that crazy how an MCS game goes? There we go. Hitch, out route, running back streak. Dez out of the pocket. They get screamed at again. Look at that. Send 4. Look at that. That's a send 4, boys. Dude, I gotta check in on this 3-3-5 odd. RPO read flat. Oh, he got him. Okay, you never see this, by the way. This is great. Like, I don't know what David T exactly did here. Okay, so he gets his slot corner over here, which I think is ultimately why this works. But this is just a hard flat. I would assume he's shaded outside, maybe. And maybe he pass commits here. I don't know. But this is just a hard flat. And then this guy causes enough that he's able to just kind of get in position and make a play. Look at this. Boom. That might be a hard flat, too. That might be a hard... might have two... This might be a man up. It's either a man up or a hard flat, but look at this. He's there. He gets off the block. And he picks him on that 3rd and goal. That's huge. Watch it one more time, real time. Boom. That's a huge interception. That is a huge interception. Because what would have been very, very easily 31-28 Dez's lead coming out of half of the ball now is 15-28. David T probably just going to run the ball here, get this thing to halftime. And what a first half. What a first half. Is he out of there? Inside zone? All right, 1 second. Probably another run here. One of the things we've seen in this tournament, yeah, I run there, is sometimes you can definitely return the picks off the Hail Mary. All right, well, that's halftime, boys. All right, boys, start of the second half here. Believe. Why does David T have the ball? Oh, what? Okay, so we know what's going to happen here. Dez is going to run Durham. Oh, look at that. Dude, David T's been jamming this guy into this guard all game. He's going to jam him in, but what's been happening is this guy's been getting caught up. I believe he's on a hook curl. Take a look here. Jams him into the line. He's off of him. Now watch what this guy's doing. Look at him. Just kind of like freeze and stay in a zone, and Dez throws right at him. Pick. Oh, we know he's not on a blitz. We know he's on a hook curl. Dez throws right at him. That was just that's so unfortunate, man. Dude, this game is crazy. David T, full control, up 2 scores with ball. Dez's getting the ball at half was of no advantage to him whatsoever. David T hits a drag, jukes one man out. David T is going to be on conservative, I believe. That was a crazy pick by Dean. Here's that hidden formation. David T going with a stemmed all the way down post to the tight end. He loves that route. I don't know why. So I feel like I never can get that route open, but bada bing, he gets sacked. Not really seen, really just a lot of audible around. A lot of different stuff, really. Speed out here to the left side, not really there. Playmaker drag, that's what I'm talking about with the master tack. 3rd and goal. All in the 8s. If you're David T here, 3 is not the end of the world. You'd really want 7. Let's see what he decides to do. Going streak zig out. Playmaker's a zig into a drag. Haven't seen that a lot, but there you go. 4th and goal. And he should be taking his 3 here, I would believe, right? Yeah? I don't know what just happened. I think he took it all the way down. All right, so David T is up 16 with 3 minutes left, and Dez is kind of running out of time. This is kind of his stay alive drive, really. So we'll see what he ends up doing here. Maybe. All right, we go. Just listen. So picked up the pressure, and really, when Dez has been able to pick up the pressure, he's been fine. But when that pressure's come in, that's really the crux of everything. So shift left or shift right, I guess. And send 5. Uh-oh. David T got a little aggressive on the switch. Tried to jump a post. Dez has a streak there. Touchdown, Dez. Going to go for 2. Back to that same 2-point conversion play. The flat route. Going to try to take that. That's not going to be there for him. 31-21, David T. All right. Let's see what happens. Really, really nice. David T just too far out of position. Not able to get back there with that outside quarter. That is the risk of switch stick. That is the risk of the switch. All right, doubles flex close. Going with the flat zig combo on that right side. Love to see it. And David T, you're going to see a little bit of clock management, but David T's got to be careful because then you don't just want to get stopped here. You want to be able to move the ball, take some time. Just going to that dagger whip, that wheel route on the right side to clear out. See how that wheel route clears out for that tight end drag? It's a real nice little route. Again, I saw Henry doing that in LCQ. Really hadn't seen that other than watching that tape, but anywho. All right, CJ2K inside zone. That's like perfect for David T. Brings up a 2nd and 1. You love to see 2nd and 1s because 2nd and 1s really easy down to run and really easy down to eat up some clock. So you see David go into the juke clock here and then just going to try to get that inside zone, get a first down. Now he can run again. So the big advantage of that 2nd and 1 is so that he can get really, it allows him to pretty easily take a minute or so off the clock just by running it, just because it's a safe call on 2nd and 1 to run an inside zone. If you don't get it, you still have 3rd and 4th down. Here he calls inside zone. Now he's in a 2nd and 9 situation. More than likely, probably going to see a pass here. And he's going to go more horizontal. A lot of horizontal passing from David T as well. In this game, and I've said this from the beginning of the year, I've been trying to even understand it myself, but I truly believe the way this game is played this year and what it really takes, we saw it from Clef in the Zero Chill event, this idea of just like really horizontal passing, because horizontal passing, I think, makes it doesn't necessarily fully negate switch stick, but it makes it much harder for switch stick to play such a key role. There, David T kind of just didn't have anything. He had the drag, but it was being used as well. And now we're on a 4th and 4. Kind of a decision, a little bit of a decision here. David T is going to go, it looks like. About 5 minutes left. Still plenty of time for Dez to get back in this game if he gets a stop here. It's a big down. And Dez is going to go, backbreaker route. That's PA snag, boys. PA snag has probably been the most called play since October. One of the best plays in the game. Short post routes, really valuable routes because they just get in a soft spot of the zone. And random disconnect. We'll catch back up with you in just a sec. All right, we're caught back up. 21-31, David T's 2nd and 9 situation. Again, a lot of this play right here, it's basically bench pivot. Practically, that's what he's running over and over again. He's ran that play, I want to say, at least 5 times this game. That's been his main play when he goes to that formation, is that bench pivot concept with a tight end drag, a zig, a flat, and then a backside dig or post. Kind of his main play. And again, most of David T's combos really have been this horizontal strain. You might see a motion out running back here with the blocked run. The fade could be open. It just hits a running back table, gets a nice animation there on CJ, and it's going to bring him 4th and 2. Still a little bit of a decision, but David T has been able to take a lot of clock. I still think you probably go for this. He does look like he is going to kick it. He's definitely going to be taking this all the way down. And I do think David T is going to end up kicking this 3, making it a 13-point ball game. So it's still a 2-touchdown game, which I guess is the big advantage to kick 3 here. 3 minutes, 16 seconds, the way David T has been playing defensively, as long as he himself doesn't take his defenders out of position, he's probably going to be in a position to be able to force Dez to have to take some clock on this drive. So he is going to take 3 and go up 34-21. And now Dez is going to get the opportunity for a drive to kind of get back in the game here. Going to audible to this wild trips nasty. Again, David T kind of getting some interesting alignment for that linebacker. Little running back streak out of the backfield. RG3 seems to be the quarterback of choice for most people in this tournament. Primarily because of the ability stack plus his release and his speed. He's very mobile. There's that pressure again. Again, every single time that David or Dez sends 5 out, David T is screaming at him with 3 or 4 people. Huge. Foundation of every defense is a blitz. David T just happened to have one that Dez really can't pick up. Almost pulled him back in position there. David T, honestly, if you look at this real quickly, I don't know what this is. I would assume this is an outside third. I don't know what this is. But he switched to it. He pulls it back into position, but just can't do it quick enough, and Dez able to hit him in that soft spot. Dez is thrown for 235, 3 touchdowns. Not even... Well, I guess that... Actually, no, that's the recreate. I forgot they recreated. Never mind. All right, so wild trips nasty. PA double post. There's that send 5. So Dez trying to 5 out with play action blocking, and David T's counter to that is to just send the edge pressure, and he's just humming at him. Ooh, good pressure again from David T. Look at that. There's that disengages yelling at him. That little disengage on the left, that is just yelling at him. And I'll tell you, the 3-5 odd, the safeties are in such a good position. Running back table to the flat. Got to shed that time. And you see here, I mean, the big thing to watch is really just look at all the clock. You know, he's taken up a minute. Hasn't had to use a timeout, so it's not a terrible. It's kind of going a little bit in Dez's way, but he is taking some time. He's kind of just, and there he catches it. He gets that catch animation. So what happens is when you have two mid-zone KOs collide, so you see here and here, they're going to collide, and when they collide, for some reason, they sometimes catch it, and that's what happens here. You know, that was happening last year. That's still an issue this year, so shout out to EA for continuing to improve their game and punish bad decisions. Just seems like that really was a complete lie by them, and they don't actually fix their game. All right, so a bunch of quads for Dez. Going to go with a little flat route, running back kind of motion flat. A little whip from Calvin. Nice throw. Switch stick onto it. The mid-zone gets it, I think. Yep. Mid-zone does get it. And so now Dez is... It's a 7-point game. Dez just needs to stop, basically. He has the 2-minute warning. If I'm David T, you probably take this out, depending on how Dez kicks it. I guess you can't, so there you go. All right, so David T really needs at least one first down, maybe 2 first downs here. Stemming down the post route, going to audible. See, if I get this double mug pressure, I'm blocking my tight end every time. You see there, I mean, if you don't block that tight end, you just get screamed at. That's what makes this double mug so tough. And the way Dez is running this, which you really don't see a lot, but especially in the second half, he's really ramped up the pressure. Notice that he is going to bring, well, he wasn't that time. This time he only sends 4. Got super good pressure on that left edge. This is what double mug can do for you. Take a look at what happens here. So you got this user down in here. He's only going to send 4 this time, but watch what happens on this outside. This guy can just scream off this edge occasionally. Again, it's typically against 5 out. It's typically if you don't have your pass pro set up, and yeah, that's what we see from Dez right there. David T able to really step up in the pocket, hit a good beat over the middle, and pick up a first down in the midst of pressure. Really composed read. Honestly, not much more you can ask for. So when Dez does it, eventually, this is what he does a lot, though. He'll bring the safety over. When he has this look, both of these guys can come free. This is the send 6 look. So you could send 4 out of this. If you send 4 out of this, generally speaking, you're going to have to still man lock this backside. You're really leaving this whole side on an island. So a couple ways you could cross man it, but it's not easy to cover that left side. So that's the main vulnerability of the send 6 look. But here you see there, it looks like he's manned up on that left side. Looks like he is going to be sending heavy pressure. David T going to motion out the running back, which really isolates that safety. He is going to block the tight end. This is my favorite thing to do against this look. But Dez gets a shed off the edge, and David T has to roll out, ends up throwing it away. These throwaways are kind of interesting. There's some reasons to do it and some reasons not to. David T ends up staying with the reason to do it. There, look at that. Dez gets instant pressure off this edge without even hovering. And David T's going to have this guy wide open, but this pressure just absolutely busts his pipe. And good defense from Dez. All right, so doubles flex close for David T. 3rd and 10. Kind of a gotta have it down. Dez hasn't had to use the timeout yet either. Gets another screamer. Dez is screaming out of this double mug, by the way. He's actually yelling at him, playing really good defense from Dez. David T looks like he's right on the edge of field goal range, got just enough yardage. But, I mean, as he's getting screamed at, honestly, Dez did its job there. The fact that you can hit a field goal from whatever he is, 58-yard field goal here. Still good defensive drive by Dez. David T settles for 3. But ultimately, that's huge for David T. And it's honestly just a little too late from Dez. But he is going to have a chance. He still has all 3 timeouts. So if he's able to score, Even if he's able to like get downfield, take a field goal without having to take much clock, the challenge is this pressure is coming at him. It's hard to get stuff deep down the field against a blitz like this. That should have been a pick. Ooh, you see David T's emotion there on the right and left. Doubles flex Y off close for Dez. Flood post. Double teaming. Sliding. Pressure still yelling at him. Pass protection not working. And whoever plays David T next is going to have to prepare for this blitz. He's got 3 streaks on the left. Why wouldn't you? Hits a seam streak. Good read. It very could have easily been a mid zone, but he did hit it right in that pocket. But I mean, it's a tight window to hit that streak. Got to go to Trey open. Looks like he has a little return route. David T kind of gave him that, but he did end up being able to get out of bounds. I think David T's hoping he can make that tackle in bounds. Like right here, if I'm Dez, I'm just throwing a speed out, getting out of bounds. You know, the problem is you're running into that zone where you're going to need to start using your timeouts. See, like he threw it the middle of the field here. So now what do? Like you spike, see, he uses the timeout. So Dez is now fully committed to this drive of getting 7 and then trying for an onside kick is basically him taking that timeout. That's pretty much practically the decision that he just made is I'm relying on an onside kick to now win me a game. Double streaks on the left side with a flat. Good combo, but David T's going to be in cover 4. You know that. Dez is going to have to take another timeout. There you see it. And now I think he's out of timeouts. So he pretty much fully committed to this drive. 47 seconds. This is now kind of a tricky area because you really can't use the whole field. And this is what makes, I think, these kind of situations make offense hard. And also, by the way, David T is screaming at him every time he sends 5 out. So he can't put 5 into the pattern. He has to have pass pro. And so you just see that this is why having a good blitz makes all the difference on defense. It makes all the difference because when you can put them under pressure, they can't do what they want to do offensively. You effectively force them to play offense in a way that's hard. And then also, by the way, when you play cover 4, when you take away the big plays, when you use the scoreboard to be able to manipulate game script, those are all things that are happening. Because again, Dez can put 5 in the pattern, but you're going to get screamed at here. Like, look, screaming at him. Instant pressure. Mid-zone KO knocks out. 4th and 10 situation. Now what do you do, Dez? Do you go for this? Do you take a field goal? You're kind of in a lose-lose. He's going to take a field goal here. Has to get an onside kick no matter what. And so David T, we'll see if he is able to recover it. Is going to go with the high kick, full power, standard accuracy. And David T is going to recover this one. And this is just going to be a kneel out, boys. GG's. David T shocks the world in his first round Madden Bowl. Beat one of the betting favorites to win the whole thing. Beat him a lot better than the scoreboard ultimately showed. David T is going to move on primarily in a game where his defense dominated, even though he's an offensive player. Shout out to David T. Huge fan of his. And thanks for watching this video.